Hi, and today I'll be talking about remakes and reboots, and specifically the film I Spit on Your Grave. The original film was filmed in Connecticut, USA, and directed by Mers Archie, under the title Day of the Woman. The film was generally ignored upon its release, but it started to gain a lot of talk and controversy for its subject matter, and specifically the sexual assault scenes within the film. Because of the buzz surrounding the film, it was picked up by Cinematic Productions and re-released in 1980 under the title we best know it today, I Spit on Your Grave. Upon its re-release, the film was bashed by critics saying it was sick and twisted, and it was banned in more countries than it was allowed to be shown in, such as Canada, Australia, and Great Britain. It was even added to the Video Nasties list in 1980. It was released during the times films such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Last House on the Left, and Cannibal Holocaust had been released. The gory horror flicks were going strong. It was also released during a time that women were starting to get more equal rights to men. Women started protesting against the film, saying it was glamorising violence against women. This may not be the case. As the director stated in a DVD commentary, him and a friend helped a woman in New York after she had been sexually assaulted, and this inspired him to make the film. He states that the film was meant to show how a woman can be strong and independent after such a horrific ordeal, and the violence and gore in the movie were essential to tell the story correctly. Whether he was just saying this to protect the reputation of his film, we may never know. What we do know is, aside from all the controversy, the film went on to gain a cult following and was remade in 2010 due to this. The original was finally allowed to be released in Britain in 2001, but had to have several cuts made to the sexual assault scenes before it was allowed to be released. The 2010 remake was filmed in Louisiana, USA, and directed by Stephen Monroe and released by Cinetel Films. By now, people knew what the film was about, and they knew what to expect seeing this film. I think due to this, the film got less controversy because only people that actually wanted to go and see the film for the shock value went to see it. But the film still got bashed by critics, saying it was just as disgusting and vile as the original. The film did go on, however, to gain another cult following and spawned a sequel also directed by Stephen Monroe. The 1978 version was made on a budget of $650,000. This wasn't a large budget, but it was way more than films such as Texas Chainsaw and The Last House on the Left were made on, and these films went on to gain a lot of money. Due to the low budget of the film, the effects in it were not great, but during this time they did not have the technology and software to make great effects, and people back then were shocked at how incredibly gory the film was. The 2010 version was made on a budget of $2 million. This meant more effects could be done with the technology we have today. Due to this, the gore and violent elements of the film look and feel much more real than the original.
Hello?
What's a pretty little thing like you doing out here all alone?
Shut her up! Please.
Forgive me, Father, for I will sin. It's date night.
I think the two films were meant for the same audience. Due to the nature of the film, it's hard for it not to be for the same audience. I think this is clear by looking at both of the film posters. They are very similar, showing a woman in ripped clothing holding a knife ready to get her revenge. The storylines of both films are nearly identical, with only a few changes made to the remake. Films such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Last House on the Left have both been remade for a modern audience and went on to make a lot of money. I think this helped with the production of the film, as I knew people were still interested in seeing this type of gory films. I think it was also made for an artistic reason as well. They knew the controversy surrounding the original film, and I think they wanted to show that the film had a much deeper meaning beyond the gore and violence in the film. The remake still got bad reviews from modern audiences, and critics bashed the film once again, saying it was just as sick and twisted as the original. But the remake has gone on to gain a cult following just like the first one, showing that there are still people out there supporting the horror genre. Thank you.